All right. Welcome back, everyone. We're live on the YouTube. Have not yet started the pod, but we are live on the YouTube just to like to get that going. All right. Say hi, Jenny.
Hello.
And
Hi, Jenny.
hi, Jenny. Say hi, Jenny to Jenny. Just like I like to wait until it actually comes up on YouTube and okay, good. So we're up there. We're recording task episode 1, Crossing Explained. All right, I'll try to check the YouTube. I sometimes am not that great with that, but I will try at some point to jump on and see if anybody's watching us, but we'll see. But let's start the podcast. Here we go.
Doke.
Welcome, everyone, to Task, a podcast brought to you by the DVR Podcast Network. Check us out at dvrpodcast.com, where we cover tons of shows. We are currently covering the amazing Alien Earth, and we do a little show called Around the Couch about the NFL. We cover tons of shows. I started off almost 20 years ago covering Lost. We've covered Game of Thrones, Westworld, Mayor of Kingstown, so many different. Jenny and we covered Big Little Lies. What else have
Mhm.
we covered, Jenny?
Oh, we've had a few like
Yellow
general TV
Jackets.
talks where we talked about different reality stuff. And
Yep,
yes,
yep.
Yellow Jackets,
Yellow Jackets.
Westworld, the first season that we did the podcast, we
Yes.
were together. The second
Yep,
time we did it, we were not together, but we
that's
both
right. We had
podcasted
two
on DVR
shows.
Podcast Network. But yeah.
So, tons of shows. If you're new to us, if you subscribe to Daily DVR, that kind of conglomerates all the shows we're covering. But if you're here just to listen to us talk about HBO's new series starring Mark Ruffalo called Task, you're in the right place because we are ready to talk about it. I do want to take one moment, though, to thank our patrons because we are publicly supported by the peoples out there at patreon.com/DVR. We have 3 new members, Samantha, Jakob, and Adrian. I always add more flourish to people's names than I should, but I think Adrian and Jakob de la Fuente, which by the way is probably the coolest patron name that we have so far. I love it. Very cool name. So thanks to Samantha, Jakob, and Adrian. You are awesome for becoming members, and patrons get no ads, early release, and lots of exclusives. Let's talk about Task. Jenny,
Let's
we
do
were
that.
we were both fans of Mayor of Easttown.
Yes.
Um, the writer and creator of Task, Brad Inglesby,
Hmm.
is also the writer and creator of Mayor of Easttown. And to start off, we should say that it has been confirmed that they actually take place in the same universe,
Okay.
and that he said at some point there may be a crossover between the two,
Hmm.
which I thought was really pretty interesting because I know a lot of people have been talking about that. So we start off with that. Now, Inglesby has done a lot of great stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen Out of the Furnace.
I don't believe that I have.
Christian Bale takes place in pretty much the same kind of Delco area of
Hmm.
Pennsylvania,
Hmm.
Delaware County. Great film. So this is where this guy lives. This is actually where he's from. He's from this area. He went to Villanova. So he's kind of writing about the world in which he came up in, and he wants to kind of show it to people and
And
show
that
all the
makes
different
sense.
sides of it. Yeah, it totally does. So with that little introduction, let's start off with what were your thoughts on this first episode and how this is only a 7 episode series. Interesting
Wow.
number, not 8, 7 episodes. It's a limited series. So I would assume we're not planning on getting a second season, so we should talk about it as a limited series. But how do you think
Um,
it set up this world?
well, so it's funny because I had heard and seen that this was coming out and I had forgotten the name. So when you had text Gina and I was like, don't know what that is. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, 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 I do." Sorry. So anyway, I feel like this first episode is kind of laid a lot of groundwork. I mean, it left me with a lot of questions as to like, okay, how does all of this interconnect and what happened with his family, the Mark Ruffalo's character, and what happened with the brother of the other guy. I don't know any of their names yet,
I
which
will
is
fill in the
terrible.
names.
Tom.
It's the
Tom. Mark
first
Ruffalo's
episode.
character's name is Tom.
Right.
And the other guy, I
Robbie.
forget, Robbie and
Right.
Alex, right? His friend that was
Yes.
Uncle Trash. That's what
Oh,
I
no, Uncle
remember.
Trash is Cliff.
Okay, Cliff, that's right. And then Peaches was the other.
Right.
So anyway, but it seemed like, they left us with a lot of questions. So of course you want to come back and watch the next episode because you want to know what the hell happened here and and what he's going to do with that little kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
I feel like
that's a
they
big
said a lot of,
question.
they've got a lot to do though, because but that's the same way kind of Mayor of Easttown was, if I recall correctly. Like there was
Yes.
a lot
Yep.
of different moving pieces and they managed to pull them all together in a very interesting way. And it was compelling storytelling.
Yeah. I think that you actually have, it's kind of like, it's funny. I was talking to our co-host and friend, Heath Santazzo, star of the Star City Murders. And what he was saying to me is he felt that there was going to be a main mystery of the show. Like who he thought that it was going to be trying to figure out who are the bad guys. He didn't realize
Uh,
that it was like a Heat type thing where it's Tom versus Robbie, right? Like the cop versus the criminal. He thought they might be working together. And what I think is that it's actually kind of the mystery is not the detective story or, the robbery, the crime. The mystery is kind of us getting to know these families, how they
mm-hmm,
work.
mm-hmm.
Because remember, like you said, in Mayor of Easttown, it took so many episodes to figure out that like one kid had a different father than the other kids because they never just said it in exposition. It was through dialogue you had to come to understand, oh, the older daughter comes from a guy or something. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
family dynamics. So that is part of the interest to me. I agree with
Speaking of
you.
that, did you notice his family photo that I actually paused it when I
Yeah,
watched it a
we'll
second
definitely
time?
talk
Yes,
about that.
when you said
I
that,
think
that
that the family issues and the family dynamics and who they are, how they relate to each other is part of the mystery. But what it also does, Jenny, is it speaks to the real, like a huge theme of this show, which is class, which is blue collar versus like or just exploring the blue collar, a more blue collar lifestyle, exploring people who live in this very specific area, even with their very specific accents. That I read an article where Tom Pelfrey, who plays Robbie, was talking about he did a class with a person, the same people that helped with Mayor of Easttown
Mhm.
worked with the actors to get, because it's a Philly accent. Like if I'm from New Jersey, so I'm from northern New Jersey, you're in Ohio, you're from Ohio,
Mhm.
right? So you're kind of adjacent in a sense. Like that's where like the Northeast becomes the Rust Belt kind of,
Mhm.
right? It changes over. Now, I'm really much more from the Northeast. Northern New Jersey is not like Southern New Jersey, Philadelphia, which is where this takes place, Chester area, the Delaware County area, which actually includes parts of Jersey. When you look at a map, it's like in a big circle. It's a totally different area, but it's very specific. And it speaks to the people there, even how the houses are,
Mhm.
instead of being on a street, they're in this more rural area with a big ass house, and you come up on this. I've been to places like this. I know you have, Jenny, right? Like
Mhm.
I've driven around in areas. I know people who lived in areas like this. So I think it's so authentic. And that mystery of other people getting to know that community is really what I find so interesting. Like it took me, I didn't figure out that that Lizzie, what's that's her, oh no, that Maeve was Robbie's niece, was Billy's daughter,
Mhm.
until like the show was almost over. And then I and then I realized, wait, that's at first when they first walked into the kitchen, I said to my wife, wait, is that, I thought he was looking for a girlfriend. Is that his girlfriend? That can't be his, is that his daughter? No, she's too old. And then they don't, it takes a while for them to even tell you that. So I think that kind of writing is purposeful. They know they're doing that, right? And that's part of the mystery that drags me in, to where I'm, like you said, I'm more interested in what happened to Billy. Were they in the military together? Did they go to jail? Maybe Billy, this is the big theory out there, because you know I love theories.
Who's
Maybe
Billy?
Billy is his brother who died, Maeve's
Oh, right.
father. Okay.
You're right. I didn't
Robbie,
remember the
yeah,
brother's name.
that's okay. Robbie is Billy's brother.
Right, right,
Robbie
right.
and Billy are the two
Hmm.
brothers. Tom Pelphy, the actor, is playing Robbie. Maybe Billy and his case, or whatever happened to him, is somehow connected to Tom, Mark Ruffalo.
It probably is.
That's just a theory out there. I
Or
don't know.
whatever happened with Tom's family with his son,
Mm.
that that he's got that case and they're doing his sentencing and whatever, maybe was involved with Robbie, or was maybe tangentially involved with how they said those houses are owned by the motorcycle gangs, or like their
Ah,
stories
yeah.
are intertwined in some way.
Right, right.
Obviously, I mean, they have to
Yeah.
be, otherwise why would they be showing us these
Well,
two?
I mean, they're going after, he's
Right,
going
right.
after him, but
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you too, because they're setting up this whole community, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone, it's like when you watch a show, and we covered Duster on HBO most recently, and
Mm-hmm.
they did a really good job of every time someone, someone showed up, they would be like, "Oh, I remember you from whatever." So it's like a tight-knit community that everybody kind of
Mm-hmm.
has interacted with everyone. And I think the way that we start off, the name of the episode is Crossings, and the way that we start off, and we go to this two or three times during the show, where it flashes, it goes back between what Tom and Robbie are doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're getting ready for work,
Mm-hmm.
and he's getting
Mm-hmm.
ready for work, and he's doing this and he's doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting the new, when they move into that abandoned house as at the task force headquarters, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool. They show Robbie getting stuff ready and getting the kids and all that kind of stuff. So I think they are. Are you a fan of the movie Heat? Have you seen that film?
I don't know if I have ever seen it.
Famously, when Robert De Niro and Al Pacino face off, But I think whenever there's a
I remember
situation where you
hearing of it,
have
but I don't
this,
remember
yeah,
if I ever saw it. Sorry.
I think in our generation, that's kind of a cornerstone of people say, like, when the cop goes against the robber.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, I do have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
I wrote down a couple questions because I'm interested in what your thoughts were on some of the ideas. We've
Okay.
talked a little bit about Robbie and the crew and Billy and stuff, but let's talk a little bit about kind of our lead, Tom, who is an FBI agent who is currently not on the street. He is going to local job fairs and
Looks like
trying.
he's on desk duty,
Yeah, he's
light
on desk
duty.
duty, right? But it's important. Don't you think it's important, Jenny, that he's not on desk duty?
Well, he kind of is. I mean, I would still call what he was doing going out to a career, or
But think
yeah, a
about it. There's a,
career
there's
fair
a
at a
difference there.
college.
Isn't there a difference there? The difference is he's dealing with the public and they're trying to
True.
help him get out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you could imagine that whatever happened with his son has caused this, right? And I think it's important because if he was just on desk duty, it wouldn't, it would, it speaks lower to his character. Like they see him as an important agent, and it seems like with the FBI, as we learn from, oh God, as soon as I heard, I forgot she was in the show, but as soon as I heard her voice yelling on the phone, I knew it was Martha Plimpton.
Oh.
When she was like, "Come on, Jared." She's awesome in this. Kathleen
Hmm.
McGinty, who is his superior, they're trying to they want to try to replace her with someone younger, but somehow they value him on the street. That's a different thing, right? He doesn't want to be in the office. He goes back on the street.
Hmm.
What do you think happened with his son? Why is his son in prison? Where is his wife? And also, as
Where are
you
the other
may, as
kids?
thank you, talk about it. If you when you froze on that picture, what did you see?
So it was him, and it appeared to be a wife, and the one little girl that was, and the wife was appeared to be white, and the
Right.
one little girl, Emily, was black, and then there was one boy and maybe one other girl, or was it like two other kids? I can't remember. But I so after seeing that, I started making
Yeah.
up backstory.
Okay. That's what I want, Jenny. I knew
Well,
you would.
I just was like, thinking that maybe the son like was on drugs
Okay.
and in some way, and like something happened. He was trying to get money, whatever, and he wound up killing his mom or something. But I mean, and because Tom says he doesn't want to do a witness impact statement, and it sounds like Emily is the only other person left. So what happened? I mean, I don't think it was okay. My logical brain says that that is probably not what happened, but my I watch too many crime shows and listen to too many crime podcasts, so I'm like, oh, he probably like killed the rest of his family, and Emily was the only one that got out by the skin of her teeth or whatever, and Tom was away at work, and so he's like
Ah,
taking bereavement time, and that's why he was on like light duty or whatever, and so they're just trying to get him back out there and doing his agent stuff again. That was my kind of thought. But
okay. I
next
think we're
episode, I'm going to be proven completely wrong, probably.
no, I think we're on the same I think we're going down the same road. And my wife thought the same thing, which was I think the son killed his wife and the other kids.
Yeah,
And
that's what
I
I said.
think that this show, I mean, like when we talk about Alien Earth, there's a lot of subtext in that show. And the writer is openly talking about it. And I think that Brad Inglesby is talking a bit about that too. There's a reason why he's making this show in this area, what he wants to show. And obviously, I think a big part of this is violence and gun violence.
Hmm.
And this is what we're faced with America every fucking day.
Hmm.
More and more guns, more kids dying, more people dying. We just had this Charlie Kirk guy shot by a
Hmm.
22-year-old fucking kid. Nobody's even talking about like as a little kid. You're a child when you're 22. You
Your
are a
brain
fucking
is not
child.
fully formed.
And no matter what that kid is, he's a kid. And
Hmm.
it's sick that we live in a country where guns are so readily available, and there are whole cultures of guns where guns are praised like they are fucking objects of desire and power when they serve one purpose, and that's to kill people. Sorry, people, I went off on a little rant. But I do think that's a huge part of this show. That's what he's trying to show, a culture of violence. And it exists in this area, and it is uniquely American in this sense. So sorry about that, Jenny. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to go on. But I'm sure you feel the same way, Jenny. I know we're
Mm.
aligned in that way, and it's sad to see what happened in Colorado
Yeah, I
earlier
mean,
this week at a school. It's
Charlie
awful.
Kirk was not a great person, but he didn't deserve to die. That's the bottom line. Like he may not have like been the nicest person or whatever, but his wife doesn't deserve to be a widow and his kids don't deserve to be fatherless. But yeah, like
Guns kill people,
hmm,
and if he had believed in gun control, maybe that kid couldn't have gotten a gun. And if
okay.
people do not need to get guns, that's
Okay,
the way
let's
I
get off our
feel. Let's
soapboxes
get let's
before
get
people
off the
tune out.
soapbox. We might have to edit this part out, Jenny. But it does make me think about that though, because that is that world, you know? It was only a matter, like one thing I noticed is I was waiting for him to get a gun in this show. Like where does he hide the gun? When he was going into like different drawers and things like that. You know what I'm saying? When they're think about what they're doing. I think this is interesting. We have Tom, who we don't know what happened to his family. We both suspect that there was some sort of violence, drugs, guns, or whatever that may have taken away his wife. He was a priest for 9 years,
Mm-hmm.
they said. You're
Mm-hmm.
right. It looked to me like his wife was white. His children, at least his daughter, seems to be black. His
Mm-hmm.
children may have been of
But the other
other.
ones all looked white.
Okay.
They were all white appearing in the picture.
We're okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just thinking that maybe they
Only
adopted
Emily.
them or
Yeah,
they
only
did something.
Emily was
Yeah.
black.
Okay. But either way, it seems to me that as he
And they
was,
still may have, like you said,
yeah,
adopted the other kids too. We'll
he,
see. I bet we're going to find out where she came into the story.
right. And also though, when his friend visits him, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, Great actor, been in a ton of stuff. His
Mm-hmm.
name is Isaac de Bencole. He was
Mm-hmm.
actually, he was in the Lestat, the vampire show on
Mm-hmm.
AMC. I think he was on that.
The
Anyway,
first season or the second season? I
I
haven't
don't
seen the
remember.
second season yet.
Oh my God, that show's amazing. Second season is it gets better and better.
Oh, I
But
know. I
anyway,
just didn't have AMC Plus or
uh,
cable at the time when it was airing, so I'll be able to watch it soon
cool.
because the
He
third season's
has
coming out.
he has a very thick accent
Mm-hmm.
too. So it made me think maybe as a priest, he maybe was involved in some international stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
the Habitat for Humanity kind of shit, going
Mm-hmm.
overseas. And maybe in the process, they adopted a
Mm-hmm.
child. Basically, what I'm trying to say is he seems like a good guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was coming from a place of good, and something interfered with that, and things went downhill.
Yes, and he's self-medicating
And he's self-medicating.
hard.
Yeah, really badly to the point where he's leaving his daughter without a father and a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to have been going on for quite a while.
Based on her reaction, yes.
Yeah. But the fact that the son has not yet been sentenced, I wonder how recent was it said? Was it
Well,
how recently
no,
it
I
was?
don't believe that they did say, but if it's like TV length, then it probably happened 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But if it's like actual court length, then it probably happened a year to 2 years ago, at
Okay.
least,
Oh,
based on
okay.
like how court dockets go.
Okay, cool. I dig that. I was thinking about a year. That's what it felt like to me,
Hmm.
right? Like it had been a little
Yeah.
while, like it didn't
Hmm.
happen last week.
Right.
Um, so Tom has not isn't really taking care of his family. It seems to me that at the same time, Martha Plimpton, Kathleen, is trying to get him out there, right? Like she
Hmm.
relies on him.
Right. She's
So
trying to push him out of the nest again.
push him
Come on,
out of the
buddy.
nest, but which is basically really just getting him to concentrate on the job, not his daughter again,
Right.
which is giving him like
And to maybe
more
keep him from
things.
spiraling further.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, right?
Hmm.
Because that's kind of the question of it. I like the gray here,
Hmm.
where they set him up as this, he left the priesthood to become an FBI agent. That's interesting. It makes you think why he had and the way he approaches his friend who is a priest, take that
My guess
collar
is he
off,
didn't leave. I'm guessing that he didn't leave to join the FBI. He left because he met the woman that he wound up marrying and decided that he needed to leave the priesthood because he wanted to marry her. And you know what? Maybe she was a nun, and maybe they were on a mission together to Africa and they brought Emily home together. Like,
See, Jenny, this is the kind of shit that I wanted to hear. I like that. That's what I was thinking too.
I mean, honestly, the reason that I'm like, because I've watched Call the Midwife, and there was one of the nuns who winds up marrying the doctor. Like, spoiler for season like three of, and there's
Oh,
like
come on. Don't
15
spoil Call
seasons
the
of it. But
Midwife.
anyway, yeah, one of the nuns actually winds up marrying the doctor. So yeah.
So I like that. I like that story. I like the kind of ambiguity. Um, but he does when he takes the call. Oh, that's what I want to say is he in the beginning, he seems to be praying, but not doing a great job of it and kind of reluctantly.
Hmm.
When he's talking to his friend the priest, he is rejecting religion and rejecting God. And I think that that's going to become something that we're going to see in this show. I don't see any religiosity on Robbie's part and his family. I don't think it's even mentioned at all. There's no church. I mean, the daughter has some like crosses around, but that's just like decorative or whatever, I
Hmm.
think. But I mean the niece, but or maybe that's his daughter. I don't even remember. So one girl had like a little necklace made of crosses.
Hmm.
Do you remember that?
I did not pay attention to
Okay.
her
Because
necklace,
I was
either
trying to
one of
pay
the
attention
girls.
to that. Because I think that's going to become a point of the show. You don't make a
Hmm.
guy a priest if you're
True.
not going to examine religion and faith, you
Hmm.
know? And what more would test your faith, Jenny, than the ultimate, all of us good Catholic boys like myself know, this ultimate question that they always want to pose to you. I remember this in religion class, like, what would you do if like your mother killed your father? Could you still forgive them? What would you do if your wife or if you're like this, if your son killed your wife? Could you still forgive them? Because that is the ultimate Jesus question, right? We have to
Well,
forgive
the thing is,
everything.
like, there's a thing about like forgiving, like, that means that you have let go of the hold of the thing on you.
Okay.
Because, and that doesn't mean you have to let them be a part of your life
Well, that's
or be
the
involved.
right.
That, I mean, you just don't be mean or treating them any kind of bad way if you've actually forgiven. But like, forgiving is basically the letting go of it and not holding the grudge anymore, basically. But like, it takes time too. Like, most people can't like instantly forgive people of anything, even small
Yeah,
things.
of
Like,
course.
those of
Of
course can be
course.
done quicker, but something like that, yeah. Will he be able to forgive his son if that, obviously, will he be able to forgive his son for whatever the fuck he did? Because he did something to them, because they were supposed to give the impact statements. So whether it's
Yeah.
the wife or something else, he did something to them. And yeah, forgiveness is a big thing that people like to talk about too.
I hope I actually hope that the kid just did it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because even though I'm trying to think to myself in a writing sense how it affects our characters and this overall story, if the kid did it purposefully or if it was he was drunk driving and he killed his, right? Or he was high on meth or
Hmm.
heroin or something, more likely nodded out while driving and killed a couple kids and his mom,
Right.
you know? Or did he come home with a gun and and threaten them and it went off and
Hmm.
he just shot everybody? I actually I don't kind of hope I just want to be challenged by the show is what I'm
Hmm.
saying because I think that is a very interesting question and it's not just like you said, it's not just you forgive and forget or whatever. It's the ultimate question, right? And as priests, and I know having gone to Catholic school and all that, they do sit there and these are the type of questions in a philosophical way that they try to push themselves to answer. It reminds me of the film Dead Man Walking, right? Where Sean Penn
Like, I
admitted,
saw that a
yeah,
100,000 years ago.
well, it's
Sorry.
because he like raped and murdered a woman,
Mm,
but he was
yeah.
rehabilitated
Hmm.
later. Like he was in jail
Yes.
for like 30 years or something.
Hmm.
And he's like, "Yes, at the time I did it. I
And
hate it.
there
But
are
now
some
with
people who can't be rehabbed, but some people
that's the
can be
question.
rehabbed. Like,
And that's why art exists, to bring up these questions, not to provide the answer, but for us to question. And that's why I like this. I was intrigued by this family structure and why the wife, and also the duality that they're presenting, because on Robbie's side, we have only heard that his wife left. She left. She
right. And
couldn't
why
take
did she
it.
leave?
Why did she
And
leave?
what happened to Billy? And why did what the hell was his
Maeve?
name again? Bobby. Why did Bobby lose his house? And what is he doing with his cut? They've hit
Yeah,
9 places. What
yeah.
is he doing with the money?
That's a great question.
He
That is
lost
a
his house.
That yeah, that's well, I think there is I think an answer is because what Robbie seems to be mostly focused on is keeping his family together. His
Mhm.
wife left. He kind of has it's interesting because both of these guys are in such a fucked up position, and Robbie is trying to get he's not around as much, Maeve says, because he's doing all these robberies, but he's doing all these robberies to help save his family. Where in the same time, Mark Ruffalo is drinking on the couch and not really trying to save his family, not appreciating, not looking at his daughter while she's sleeping, not even knowing where she is. She sneaks in and out of the house. Whereas we have all these shots of Robbie walking around the house, holding his son, sitting him down and talking to him about Uncle Billy, loving him, wanting more than anything for keeping the memory of his brother alive,
Mhm.
right? And I think that when we find out that it's not his house, that it's actually Maeve's house, and she's letting him live there, and
Mhm.
I thought the same thing, Jenny. He can afford to not live there.
Mhm.
He just robbed. We just saw him take at least a couple grand. He could at least, you know what I mean? Like, and he seems to have a real job.
Right.
Are they real? They really are garbage men,
I
right?
thought that that was my impression that they were actually
That's
garbage
what I
men and they
thought
were just
too.
taking advantage
Yeah,
of the fact that their route included a bunch
yeah.
of trap houses.
Yeah, so he does
So,
have a job. You know what I
hmm
mean? Like he technically does have a job,
and
which he
that's
go
where I'm like, why is he doing this? Like,
because he
is it
wants
for the thrill
more.
of it? Like, because even if he wants to keep his family together, he could do that being a
No,
trash man.
that's the conversation. But see, I agree with you, Jenny. But I
He's
think it's
not
important to
there
talk about
enough.
that. But that's the conversation he has with Cliff.
Hmm.
One of the first conversations they have where he talks about wanting to date online, and Cliff says, "I tried that, but they can see into your past, right? They can Google you."
Hmm.
So that's basically telling us they both have like a fucked up past. It
Criminal
looks like
history.
but it looks like both prison and military because it looked like the thing hanging down with his brother's name. It looked like there was some military shit on there. And I would guess too that based upon the area and whatnot, that it wouldn't be a surprise if some of these guys have been in the military. The familiarity with the guns and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. They know what
Hmm.
they're doing when they come in there, except
Hmm.
for Peaches. Perry thought maybe they were all in the military together with Billy too, but I don't know.
Peaches looks a lot younger to me,
He does
but
look a
maybe
bit
he's
younger.
not. But I mean,
Well,
he's I if they yeah, if they had been in for a while and he joined up real young,
yeah.
then I mean, this
Well,
could come out.
Delco can age you, Jenny. Those all those Wawa subs can really get you. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that it's very interesting. Um, I'm interested to find out the history of those guys because they obviously really knew each other. But to get back to that point, I think the reason his motivation is he's either a felon, he was dishonorably discharged, something is preventing him. Just that conversation about the women, I think, was really meant to expand to their whole world view. Their whole world view is that their past and their past mistakes have crippled them and they cannot get any further in life because of it.
Hmm.
And as a result, the only choice they have is to turn to a life of crime,
Fair.
right? I mean, it's not that different from me and podcasting. That's the way it goes, Jenny. What was I going to do? They didn't do a background check when you start DVR Podcast Network. Everyone just starts listening. So I think I don't know. I thought that that was really cool. We didn't take time to say what great casting this show is. Like Mark Ruffalo is always awesome. Tom Pelphrey, man, with that big beard, I didn't really recognize him. And if you look him up, first of all, do you know who his wife is?
Mm-mm.
Kelly Kyoko from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, Quoco.
Kelly Cuoco.
Oh, yeah, I did know that.
Yeah, that's his wife. And if you look at a picture of him without the big beard, you'll be
Hmm.
like, okay, I've seen him in other shit, and he does not normally play a character like this, though he was in a couple of movies like this, but he was in A Man in Full, Ozark. I think I recognized him from, he was in Banshee back in the day. What was the thing I recognized him from?
Says he was in soap operas on the thing that
Yeah,
comes up.
he was. And guess what? Guess where he's from? Take a wild fucking
Mm,
guess. Only
New
the
Jersey.
You got it, Jenny.
Because
The
I'm looking at
state,
it right.
the state that provides the world with more talented motherfuckers than any other state in the union. New
He
Jersey,
is a
Howell
youngster
Township.
at 43 years old.
Yeah, he's in Howell Township, which is kind of not really where not too close to where I was from. It's near Lakewood, Asbury Park, Tom's River. It's actually I would say he probably grew up about 45 minutes, an hour away from Delaware County. So he didn't grow up there, but I mean, I grew up 2.5 hours away. I knew of it. So I'm sure he knows of it. But that's great casting. Martha Plimpton is frickin' amazing casting. Everyone loves her. Um, this do you remember Fabian Frankel, the guy who plays like the young
Yes,
Italian guy?
Kristen Cole. Fucker.
Yes. Yes, House of the Dragon. Having a little different accent there, wasn't he? Right? He's
Yes,
like
most
an Italian kid
definitely.
from fucking Jersey when he comes in there. Um, that's great casting. I also want to shout out that one of my all-time favorite shows on HBO was a show called Looking, which starred our friend from Mindhunter, and Raul Castillo, who plays Cliff, was his boyfriend in Looking.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, he was great. He was like one of my favorite characters. He was such a deep character. I don't know if you ever watched Looking, but I loved it. I
No,
fucking loved
I
that
think
show.
I have it on my list as something to watch at some point. I just have not gotten there yet.
Yeah, he was yeah, he was really good. And they did actually do a movie to finish that show up. But yeah, he was Jonathan Groff's boyfriend, the man who can do anything, Jonathan Groff. What can he not do? Seriously. He's so talented. I mean, do you think of that he's a mine hunter and then he's like on Broadway singing and
Is he the one that
dancing
played
and
Holden or
yeah,
the
yeah, he
that's
was
okay.
Holden. Love that dude. Um, all right, so what we talking about? We're talking about the background of them. Oh, the cast. We were just talking about the awesome cast. Anyone else you want to shout out from the cast? I think Maeve, Amelia Jones is her name. I thought
Hmm.
she was great, and she definitely is giving us the same kind of vibes that Kate Winslet's daughter was. And if she pops up and they're like hanging out at a bar together in one of the scenes, That
Hmm.
would be very cool. You could totally imagine that, right? They're
Hmm.
around the same age too, right?
I think that
Around
so
21, 22.
I don't know. I don't know
I
how old
think
she
so.
is. She looks older than that to me, but I think her character is 21.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And
But
Emily
yeah.
was also equally good.
Hmm.
Mark Ruffalo's daughter.
Yes, and I also the girl Lizzie that's on his team.
Yes. Allison
Ugh,
Oliver. She's
she
awesome.
is such a mess, but I think that she's going to be one of the ones to watch just
Yeah.
based on how much drama she already had in her, what, maybe 10 minutes of screen time in the whole episode. But
She
she had
made
so much drama.
and guess what? Guess where she's from?
I didn't look her
Not New
up.
Jersey. My other homeland, Ireland. She's from Cork.
Mm.
That was where my grandfather is from. Um, she's an Irish. I actually I was going to say she was on the Midwife show, but I don't think she was. I wouldn't
I'm
be
trying to see
surprised
if
though.
I've, oh,
She
I did
probably was
watch,
on Call the Midwife, Jenny.
she was, she
Would
was
you?
in Saltburn, which I did watch, but
Oh, oh,
that
Jenny, you
movie was
got to watch
yucky.
Saltburn.
I watched it. I just
Oh,
said
okay. I
that. I'm
thought you
not
said you
watching it
didn't watch.
again.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't watch. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
I
sorry. Okay.
did. I don't want to
I
watch it
love that
again,
movie.
but I did watch
Yeah,
it.
that was
But
awesome.
I looking at her listing, I don't think I've seen
Well,
anything
yeah,
else
that's
she
my
was
other
in.
Irish man there. Yeah, great cast. Um, some other familiar faces. Yes, I think that we're definitely going to see Lizzie is going to take on. I feel like she is going to get involved with Tom, Mark Ruffalo, on a personal level. I feel like
Hmm.
because of her immediate kind of intimacy of arguing in front of she has no filter. And
And
he
she's
is
a
a,
mess.
she's a mess, but the no filter part is like Tom is like all filter, right? Like
Hmm.
everything's filtered through his
Hmm.
grief, his tragedy, his family, his job, his priesthood. Everything is filtered through that. And she's just like, fuck all that shit. Who are you? And I feel like that might, because what I'm wondering, and some people have been saying this, Jenny, we've been talking about this show. We'll get into the other more specifics too. But I wonder, is there any hope here, Jenny?
For what?
For redemption here? Are our characters going to learn something? Is Robbie going to get out of this situation and realize and do? I mean, we even have talked about the kid, the implications, but do you see any hope here? Because a lot of people have said that one problem they have with this episode, because it's getting pretty much universally positive reviews, that it's great television, it's deep, the acting, but a lot of people are saying it's very like dreary. Like there's
Hmm.
what hope do we have here?
Um, they're the little kid is gonna be released, whatever. I don't know what they're gonna tell that kid happened, but
That's
I think
any
Robbie's
character.
probably gonna wind up having to search some time at the end of this if he doesn't wind up dead. I feel like his buddy is probably gonna die.
Cliff. Okay,
So
these are
there's
Jenny's.
no hope
This is now
there.
Jenny's
These are my
predictions.
predictions. Um,
What's going to happen to Tom? Ruffalo
I think he's going to
Hulk.
solve the case and put
He's going to
Robbie
solve the
in
case.
prison.
Okay.
But
Is he going to get any?
hopefully he'll get some closure with whatever
There.
happened with his son. But
That's what I wanted to
it's
find out
he's
about.
still going to be left in a lurch because he's going to be so sad because he lost his son on top of losing
We
all
have
the
to,
other people.
but we have to learn. So it's just like you said before. There's questions of faith, forgiveness. Who is
But you
I
know what
feel
you know
like
what's the really sad part if I'm right that Robbie winds up going to prison is that poor Maeve at 21 years old is going to wind up having to take care of her young first two cousins, little brother and sister.
and that's
And that
never
is a
happened before
tragedy.
in Delco County, right? Like that's the well, that's where we seem to be headed. I have a different point of view. And I, being the relentless optimist I am,
Hmm.
I feel like we are going to have growth from Lizzie with Tom, perhaps a connection
I'm
with
hoping
his
she grows
daughter.
because she needs to grow up a little bit.
Yeah. I I feel that what maybe this show is leading us to is a confrontation in which Tom understands who Robbie is and what he's been through and lets him go.
Oh,
And the
really?
way he forgives his son
Huh?
is by forgiving Robbie.
Your story's much better than mine.
Well, I've been doing this a little while, Jenny. You know, I'm a fucking professional
I know, but I'm
podcaster over here.
jaded.
Jay, we still love you. We love you, Jade. You're a '90s jaded chick, Jenny. That's what you are. And I'm just a guy with ripped jeans, and we're talking about TV. What can you do? We're flashing back. The '90s is back, man. I can't believe it when I walk down the street, Jenny. Kids are dressing like they're going to a rave. I don't know what's going on out here. Is it like that in Ohio?
With like the big leg pants and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah. It's
Hmm.
nuts. Everything new is old again. Anyway, I do hope that there's some kind of redemption here. I mean, even in Mayor of Easttown, she was working through her family issues and the
Hmm.
case, and she came to a place of acceptance with her mom, right? With her kid and stuff. So that's what I'm hoping for. Um, let's talk a little bit about the kid. So before we talk about the kid, we have to talk about the fact that the only reason Tom is brought into this, he is not brought into this case because they are robbing, trap houses, right? There's plenty of people robbing trap houses. The reason why the FBI is brought into this case is because there is a biker gang and there is another gang, and the nine of the places they robbed, nine places, and they said what, six or seven of them were of the same biker gang. So that biker gang believes that they are agents of another gang, and the FBI is worried that this is going to start a
Uh-huh.
turf war.
Right.
That is the reason they're brought in. Now, we have no idea, unless you do, Jenny. None of our guys, Peaches, Cliff, or Robbie, have made reference to this biker gang or that they're specifically targeting them.
No, and we haven't like seen them like they don't appear to be in a biker club.
Right,
None of them.
exactly.
We didn't
But
see motorcycles with any
no.
of them.
So they eat, but Robbie is getting mysterious text, and we don't know where they're coming from, that
Hmm.
tells him, I
So
got
yeah.
another lead.
Hmm. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why he doesn't have that much money because he's only getting like a tiny portion. And it's like,
Yeah.
if I'm putting my ass on the line for it, I need the lion's share, buddy.
Well, who could be sending him these leads, Jenny? Maybe
Somebody
it
from, yeah, the
the
other.
other gang,
Hmm.
right? So what I'm thinking is that it's quite possible that Robbie is being used by another gang to purposefully hit this gang. And now there are a lot of people out there who are saying that he kidnapped this kid.
Well, I mean, technically he did.
Okay, technically he did, but do you feel they're setting it up like some of the articles I'm reading? And I hope it's not
I
because they've
haven't read
seen.
anything.
Okay, see,
So,
in order to do the podcast, I do have to read reviews
okay,
of
well,
the one episode.
let me tell you what I think the kid, so the kid is there. He comes up out of the basement apparently, which I did not realize he was in the basement. I just knew he came out of a door and he had the blanket wrapped around him, are you my daddy's friends or whatever? And um they are just at a loss. The kid has seen them. And so, and plus, okay, one thing, like if you are any kind of a decent human, well, you wouldn't have killed those other people, but if you are any kind of a decent human, the little kid being left there with all those dead people in the house in such a violent manner, you would not want to leave that child there. But also, the kid is a witness and has seen their faces. But I don't
Right.
think that he is going to want the kid to come to harm. I think he took him and didn't know what he was going to have to do. He didn't think it through, is I guess where I'm going. So I don't know. What are they
Oh,
saying online?
100%. Oh, sorry. I had my mic turned down. Sorry. 100% agree with you, Jenny. Based upon what we've seen in this episode, it is my belief that Robbie took this kid because he did not want this kid to be taken away by the cops and put into the system. He
Mm.
felt guilty for killing this kid's parents while the kid was in the house. They obviously were violent. They had no problem running right in and smacking people in the fucking head and kicking them
Oh,
in the head. But
also, he was put in the basement all the time as punishment.
oh no, I'm talking about you're no
No, I
no
mean,
no. You're
I know
right. You're right.
the kid was
Thank you.
being abused in some way anyway.
Yes,
So go
that's what I
ahead.
was
Sorry.
gonna say. I agree with you, Jenny. I was saying Robbie and his gang are violent, but it did not seem like their MO was to come in, shoot everybody, and take the shit. They threaten people with violence. They use some
And they
violence. They
wore the
take the shit.
masks.
They wore the mask, and then they jet. They're
Hmm.
not there to kill anyone. And it seemed to me that up until that point, they had not fired any weapons or shot anyone or killed anyone in any of the robberies. They didn't say, they said there was nobody who had been
Right.
killed. So it was not, so that took them by surprise. And I think seeing his friend dead, the amount of violence, feeling guilty, his home life, knowing what was going on, the conversation he had with his niece, he took the fucking kid because he wanted to protect him.
Yep.
It was an instinct. It was
It was an
a
instinct and he
yeah,
did
it
not
was a
think it through.
paternal instinct. But he does have the son of this. He does have a kid that belongs to this biker gang. And if there's one thing we know, Jenny, from watching Sons of Anarchy is even if they beat the shit out of that kid, he's still part of the fucking biker gang, and they will do anything to get that kid back.
Yep.
And they will see it as an affront and that the other gang stole and kidnapped a kid. So I
Yep.
think we have a lot of moving parts. There is a mystery here. I think Robbie might be being used and being sent information to rob these houses unbeknownst to him. And I think that it might go back to either
You
prison
know
that they
what?
served to
Oh,
wait, hold on one sec. Prison they served
slow.
together, military. I think there's a background to it. That's all I want to say. What did you want to say, Jenny? I'm done.
The text messages, I think, might even be coming from his boss because aren't waste management companies a lot of times, I mean, at least in the past, they were run by organized crime.
What do you, what, organized what? That doesn't exist. What are you talking about, Jenny? What are you trying
I'm
to
just
say?
saying.
Huh? I'm from New Jersey. Are
So,
you trying to say that there's organized people who come together and commit crime? That doesn't happen. No, that's a great point. The garbage industry is 100%. Yeah, you're right.
and it's a burner phone. You notice that, right? Because it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it's like an old style flip
yeah.
phone.
Well, it's interesting. He also had a Walkman when he was walking around the house.
I
He had a
guess I didn't
Walkman.
realize it was a Walkman.
Yeah. It's a weird mixture of
Hmm.
technology in this show
Hmm.
because it is 2024 in the show. It says it on his car sticker. So they did that on purpose. There's a big fat shot of that. But there
Hmm.
some of the phones are older. He has a Walkman. I think that's supposed to speak to the fact that there are some places in America where it exists in its own time,
Hmm.
right? That's what I think
Yeah.
that speaks to me.
Did you notice the product placement?
No, what was it?
I saw a bottle of JMO in his attorney's office on the shelf behind him, and he was drinking Tito's vodka.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I wonder if that's paid. I don't know.
and the
I wouldn't put it past Warner
and the
Brothers at this
beer,
point.
the one of those local PA beers, Yingling or something like that. I didn't catch exactly which, but it's one of those.
Oh,
Yingling, or
interesting.
there's another beer that's
Well,
like a,
Yingling makes sense.
yeah. It might have been
Um,
Yingling. That's what I was thinking it was, but I'm not like going to swear to
yeah.
it. Is all I'm saying. But yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
Not that
Okay.
that matters to
Well,
the
no.
story. That was just those people
But
are getting paid.
well, you never know. They don't, not necessarily, it could be. Sometimes they just allow it, you know what I mean? And it's just like a lot of times when they cover things is because they don't want to give people free advertising. They're not worried about them getting like upset, like in reality shows and
Right.
such, except for
Right.
art. Art is actually something that they have to cover, that artists will get, like they blur paintings and stuff.
Hmm.
They will sue over that shit because it's like
Like
that's
my
all they
blurred
have.
painting back here.
That's why I was thinking, and not my not blurred Star City Murders poster. Let me see if I
Uh,
had some. We've been having a great. This has been a lot of fun. Let's see. There's a fact. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I want to ask this question to you, Jenny. It's interesting to me that um they're not robbing like a bank. They're not like, for instance, this guy wrote Hell or High Water, and that's a story about brothers who rob banks because their like family farm or their family was like taken away by a bank. And it's actually kind of, the film kind of stands as kind of like an anti-capitalist statement. It has a lot of subtext to it.
mhm,
In this case, Robbie is not robbing banks. He's not, there's no quote unquote innocent people.
mhm,
They're robbing other criminals,
mhm.
right? Do you think that also speaks somehow to him being a little bit more moral or whatever? Or do you think it matters?
It may be a way for him to justify it in his own mind for sure, because you're like, well, one, the cops aren't going to care about me robbing criminals as much as they're going to care about me robbing a
True.
bank
Safer.
or a
Yeah.
convenience store or whatever else. And two, if I'm robbing a criminal, it's somebody who's doing bad things anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah.
But is doing a bad thing to a bad person a good
Oh,
thing?
I'm not saying that
No,
it's
I'm just
justified.
asking.
I'm saying
Yeah.
I'm saying that
Because,
like that's how I can imagine that people would
yeah.
justify it in their own minds.
Well, because I think this show is kind of asking questions like that. And I
Hmm.
think that's a question that I do think that's a question that Tom will and his FBI crew will be kind of faced with.
We
You know,
need
we
to
didn't
talk
talk.
about them a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk because
There's a weird dynamic with that whole team. Like, what?
there is.
Lizzie, okay, they keep saying she's PSP. Is that Pennsylvania State Police, I assume?
Yes, right.
But because I remember hearing them talk when the boss lady, Kathleen or Catherine or whatever her name
Kathleen.
is, when she's like running down who they are, she like says where they're from. And I remember that, but I couldn't remember exactly where they were all from. But Aaliyah seems a bit uptight. Fucking
OCD, washing off
yeah,
the, right?
yes. Kristen Cole. I'm
Yeah.
not going to call him Anthony. Kristen
Anthony.
Cole. He's like, why did he ask her how she spelled her name? That was him that did that, right? He was
Yeah,
like, is it A Leah
yeah.
or
Because I think he's a
which was
ladies' man. That's why.
it was
I
not
think he
flirty
just
to
kind of
me. She didn't take it
really.
that way.
Oh, do you think it was a little racist?
No, it might have been him attempting to flirt, like
Okay.
you assumed
I
it
do. I
was.
think it came
I
off
didn't.
wrong, but it was
Yeah,
his
that's
attempt to flirt.
probably
Yes, that's
yes.
what I was going to say. Yeah.
But
I think she
yeah,
took it, I think the way she took it, what she saw, what he saw was different. And that may be on his part, not understanding, like what he's
both of
saying.
them seem like they like to be on top of everything. They
Yeah.
want to make sure they have all the information and whatever. They have different personalities, but they both kind of came across as
Professional.
that type of workers
Yeah.
where Lizzie didn't even what brief or whatever it was
Yeah.
that they were
It
supposed
got
to have
sent to my
read.
spam. That's like
It's
the
like
dog ate my
she was
homework.
completely unprepared, and
Yeah.
it's like, so are they trying to just like
Ah,
make it seem like the Pennsylvania State Police is shite, or is it just her, or and the whole group dynamic I feel like is going to be rough with the three personalities that they have because they
Yeah.
don't seem to be gelling very well yet.
I agree. The reason I said before was because one thing that happened later is that when they arrive on the scene,
Hmm.
they assume that Lizzie is late because she's gotten a fight, blah, blah, blah. But
Hmm.
in actuality, she had been to work before them and she was interviewing the neighbors
Hmm.
and casing the scene and getting more background information, which they, as separate from the community, her being a part of the community, which is why she's on the task force,
Hmm.
right? When these kind if anybody just watched the show, what is it, Smoke on Apple TV?
I did
There's a
not watch it.
task force in that. I don't know why I've just been watching a bunch of different shows where there's task force. They get a task force together, right? But they do pull in like you'll get like a person from the local police, an expert on the gang, and like they'll build the team. And so they kind of assume, I think that her weakness is her strength. Her
And you're
weakness,
probably
yeah,
right.
like she is like these people. She knows these people. She's going to be able to relate to them. They're going to talk to her. She's going to get more valuable information than Sir Kristen Cole going over there talking about my queen needs this information now. But first, I want to have sex with her and her best friend. But but I
House of the Dragon, y'all, watch
yeah,
it.
you gotta watch it. It's so good. It's so good. I can't wait till the new one. All right, we won't get into Game of Thrones shit, but anyway, obviously Jenny and I are big, and Gina too, big Game of Thrones fans. We
Hmm.
all are. Um, I think that they are not seeing that. And I think that Tom, that's where I think their connection may be. Because I think that Tom can see that, and he's
Hmm.
going to be able to value her. He even gave her that time, right? He said, we're going to take 20 minutes.
Hmm.
While he didn't yell at her, he didn't say, you're awful or you're fired. He just was kind of resigned to it. Okay.
Hmm.
But maybe he sees her value. But I want to see their value too, right? Like Sir Kristen, what is he going to bring? What is he really going to bring to it? What is Aaliyah going to bring to it?
You Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
any of them are going to bring
yeah,
to it at this point because I don't remember where they came from, like which one was like a gang thing or which one was this. But they seem like they are on top of things. But as you pointed out, she's definitely got the community down. So she is bringing a big piece to the table, a big piece of the pie to the table. But doesn't Tom also bring that to an extent?
yes, yep.
But because he
That,
lives
yeah,
there too. I mean, the
yeah,
others seem like they were brought in from further distances, or am I mistaking that?
yeah. I'm trying to look it up. I'm sorry, listeners, that I don't have the exact information here because um, I think that one of them might already I think he might be FBI. See, so she was from, we'd have to go back. We'll have it by next episode. Nobody likes Googling on a podcast, but we'll learn more about them and
Right, right, right.
when
It's
they
hard.
come up
We
more, we'll
There's so
know.
many characters to
Right.
like
But
try
there
and
is a
remember
background
everything.
there
Yes.
that I think we're going to learn about this.
I imagine we're going to get bits and pieces about
Now,
everybody's backgrounds.
I have another question, which is um, if I was Robbie and Cliff, I would have taken the body of Peaches because Peaches connects to them.
I thought the same thing.
Okay,
I
thank
I
you.
was
When
I
he
was
went, yeah,
like, why are you just leaving him there?
let's see. They didn't say anything about that. There was no mention of Peach's body, or they didn't say any, like the cops didn't say, oh, this guy shot that. We didn't see that part.
Yeah, but there
So,
were four bodies. They said there were four bodies. And
which
that's
includes
the
Peaches.
yes, the couple and then the other guy that came in with the bag and
Yep,
Peaches.
and Peaches. So they left his body there,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And when they went to the back seat of the car, I thought they were going to pull out. When he got out, I was expecting him to take the body. So when he got out of the car and he went towards the back of the car, for a
Mm-hmm.
split second, I didn't think he was going to open up the back door. I thought he was going to the trunk and they were going to pull Peach's body out and go
Mm-hmm.
fucking bury it in the backyard.
Right.
But instead, they
Something.
pulled the kid out.
Yeah.
So that was a big mistake to leave his body there. I mean, yes, his blood would have been there. They would have taken a gun, but we don't know that they have his DNA on file. If he was a former criminal, they might have,
Mm-hmm.
but a felon. But I just think that that was an interesting kind of point as well, that they left his body.
I agree. I thought the same thing. I was like, why are you leaving him there? And they like left his mask too, which is like the they don't know. I mean, maybe they do know because they didn't
Yeah.
really tell us what they know, but I don't know.
Yep. All right. I think that is a good starting place. Is there anything else that, I mean, I don't think we covered every single particular scene, but I think we've got the gist
No,
of this
but
show, where we're going, interesting characters.
mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, I'm definitely interested. It left me with a lot of questions, and
yeah.
I am glad that I did watch it twice because I missed a lot the first time.
Oh, the one thing that we should talk about is how cringe was it when he was in the closet when his niece was going to have sex with the guy? And he did exactly just as I said it to my wife, he did it. I said to my wife, I would just jump out and go, I was trying to get high. I'm sorry. I stole your weed.
Why
I did.
didn't he just like when he heard her coming, just be like, "Oh, hey, I took
I
a joint," and just walk out instead of like hiding in the closet like you're five?
I think because no matter how long you've been getting stoned, sometimes you're just like high. Did he take a hit of it and then they came in, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why in my mind I was like, he was dancing, he was in his own world, he was all happy. He's like, ooh, I'm sneaking. He gets the weed, but he makes the mistake, the stoner mistake. He hits it right away. So he's still stoned when he's trying to make his getaway. And you need to make your getaway before you get stoned because you're in your right mind. So if he had just taken the joint, put it in his pocket, looked at the pictures, and walked out of the room, it would have all been fine. But he
Yep.
had to hit that joint as soon as he had it in his hand. And he got high, and he got high for a second. He was like, what? And then he panicked and he got in the closet.
Dummy.
I thought it was well written and cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this guy is really good at writing. I hope it would be fun. I know he likes all the crime stuff and it would be fun if he just kind of wrote almost like a parenthood type. He really does understand family dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was very meaningful the way that little intrusion, even though she knew he wasn't being a perv. She knew he was just trying to get hot. It still bothered her so much because it spoke to her level of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought that was that whole, we didn't talk about the hiding in the closet thing, which was,
Yeah.
and
Entertaining.
that was cringe. And when she was
Yes.
describing him too, I was waiting to see him because she was like, he needs to shave. He's okay. I don't know. And then she kind of perfectly described the guy when he walked in. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
she kind of described him very well. I like her. I like her. I'm interested to see
Same.
what happens. I do have to say though that that kid is in their house, and that is another kid for her to take care of. They
Yep.
just had that fucking conversation.
Yep.
It is not going to go well. And how is he going to explain who that kid is? They can't let the kid out of the house. They can't go tell their friends they've got a kid living there with them.
No.
And it's the same fucking area in town. So, you know what I'm saying? And the
Mm-hmm.
FBI knows there was a kid there too.
Yeah.
So it's like now there's gonna be like a missing persons
His
kidnapped.
brain was not working. I
It's
mean,
gonna
his
fuck up
heart was
every
in the
level.
right place, but yeah,
Yeah,
as far as like trying to look out for the kid, but yeah.
yeah. And also, it's a mirror to Tom adopting his daughter or other children, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're both men who want to help children and
Mm-hmm.
rescue them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's similarities here. All right, I'll just keep on yapping. Who am I? I think I did the thing. I got stoned before I made my escape too, Jenny. So I don't know how to end the show. Thanks everyone for listening. Do you have any final words?
No, I'm looking forward to the next episode. That's pretty much it. They definitely, like I said before, they made me ask a lot of questions, and that's good programming because it makes you want to come back
Yeah.
and see what happens next.
Yep. Well, Jenny will not be with us next week because
My son
she
is getting married.
her son is getting married, but also I never asked her to cover. I was just like, "Hey, you want to cover tasks?" Like she said. Originally I think that Heath and Andy were excited about the show, and
Hmm.
then at times I think people get busy, but I liked it enough that what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to just bring someone from our crew in each week. You are welcome any week. If you're listening and you want to come on with me, come on with me. I'd like to limit it no more than three people. I think once you get it, that's too much. People want to come on, will come on. I think Gina's
Yeah, I
going to
mean,
do a show with
yeah,
me.
I will gladly come back again. Just
We'll
it's
check
just
back in
not
and see
next
where we
week,
got. Yeah.
and we'll see
And
after that.
congrats.
Thanks.
Congrats to you, Mama.
I
What a great
know. It's so
your
crazy. That's my
grandma.
baby.
Yeah, I know.
He's my young one. He's the youngest, even with my stepdaughter in there. He's the youngest of them all. And
Oh,
he's getting married. And
well,
I have a grandbaby, and she
I
is
know.
awesome.
Well, congrats. That's amazing. And my son just turned 13, if you can believe it.
Wow.
13.
I know he's a teenager.
That kid could throw me across the room at this point, and I'm 6'4", 250.
Yeah.
He's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Gee, he gets the shoulders from his mom. I'm like a big dude, but I don't have very big shoulders. Like my
Dude, I
family
met
doesn't run like
you
that.
4 years
Yeah,
ago in June. And I got to meet Lachlan then too.
yeah.
And he was a big 9-year old. I mean, he looked 13 when he was 9. I mean,
Yes. No, he is.
you
Yeah,
and your wife are both tall people,
yeah.
and you've got a broad build. You're broad shouldered and stuff. It's not like
Right,
you've got a
right.
little scrawny
Okay.
build.
Right.
So, I mean, he's going to be a big boy.
Yeah,
And so at 9, he definitely could have passed for at least 12 or
I
13
know.
just by his
I know.
size. So,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Time keeps going. Well, anyway, that ends our parent corner. Congrats to you. Congrats to your son and his new
Thanks.
wife, his new bride, and all the families involved. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope
Thank
it's
you.
awesome. We're going to be back next week. I'm going to try to do it earlier in the week, maybe
Hmm.
even Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to reach out to some people. But we also are going to have, I think it's going to be episode 4 or 5. Amy from Little Miss Recap is going to come on. So I do have one. So at least Amy and Gina. So I just have to fill like 3 or 4 other slots, which I'm sure I
If
won't
I
have a
can
problem
make it
doing.
on when Amy's on, I would love to be on when Amy's on
Oh,
because then when
nice.
we're done, I can talk to her about Sister Wives for a few minutes.
Oh, did you read the new book? Did you read Robin's
Yes. Yeah.
book?
No,
Oh,
not Robin,
oh,
Christine.
Christine. I'm sorry. It's not Rob. I got a mistake. You're right. Robin is the one who's still married to Cody,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're
Sobbin.
covering,
That's
did
what we
you,
call her,
Sobbin
Sobbin.
Robin, do you know that Amy and I are going to cover the Special Forces show that Cody is on?
Are you?
She asked
Yeah.
me to come on her
Yeah. He
podcast
got
and
kicked
cover it.
out real quick.
Oh, no, don't spoil. Did he really? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's what I've heard.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Oh,
don't know that. I mean,
okay.
obviously, I haven't watched the show. I don't even know if it's
Okay.
aired yet.
I really don't care.
But
It doesn't
yeah,
matter to me. Doesn't
yeah.
matter. It's going to be fun covering
Do you
it
really
either
think
way.
he's going to make it very
No,
far?
no.
Come on.
I would be surprised if he makes it past
Big
I would
fucking
be surprised at
crybaby.
episode 1, But if he makes it past episode, no way, episode 2. No way.
There you have it,
He'll
folks.
come up with an
Axel's
excuse to,
prediction
yeah.
on Special Forces.
Uh-oh. Spoilers
Cody
are
Brown
abound.
will not make it past 2 episodes.
I agree. I agree. All right, but we will. We'll be
Yes.
back. Check us out, dvrpodcast.com. Go to patreon.com/DVR. Thanks to all the new patrons. And the next time I record, it will be Around the Couch. And then we'll do Alien Earth, which is really picking up and is such an awesome show. So thanks
I'm
again,
going to have to
everyone.
catch that out later.
You will love it. You will love it. It is scary as shit. Great sci-fi stuff.
Cool.
And it brings up a lot of the Westworld stuff we talked about, like hybrids and consciousness, all that
Yeah, I
kind of
haven't
stuff.
listened to your pods about it yet because I want to
Don't,
watch it
yeah.
before I listen to the pods. So,
Yeah, please don't do that. All right, everybody. Thank you, Jenny.
yep.
You are the best.
Thanks for
Here,
having me
wait.
on.
I'm going to end this on the YouTube and the pod.